Lost Tapes was one of my favorite shows. Watching it late at night, it was entertaining and horrifying with its found footage aesthetic and information on encrypted. So I wanted to talk about the episodes that scared me. I'll be going over a few which I think were the best, but the last one will be the only one I think is the best out of the whole series. Alright, the first episode I'm going to be going over is Alien. When I saw that there were an Alien episode, I know I needed to watch it and thought it was going to be the stereotypical alien, like the ones that go on the UFO and are humanoid and gray. But that wasn't the case. The start of the episode, it talks about how an astronaut came back from a space trip but was acting strange, which would lead her to get arrested and then taken to the hospital. The doctors will try to see what is wrong, but only find that there's a rash in her skin, so they treat her the best they can. Once the majority of her skin has changed, the alien comes out of her. A doctor, a nurse, and a security guard hear her and head to her room, but they only see is that she has died and a hole in her chest. The trio decide that they should go to lockdown to keep the alien within it. The security guard attempts to fight the alien, but dies. And the doctor and nurse decide to lock themselves in a room and try to kill it with acid. Well, the nurse was able to leave, but then the doctor dies, leaving the nurse as the only survivor. So she runs away, heading to the entrance of the hospital while the alien is chasing her. But she managed to dodge it and it flew away outside. I think this was one of the best episodes because of how the alien is depicted. It was horrifying on how it grows and changes the astronaut appearance and how it flies around. I already hate flying bugs, and this did not help. Having it be a different type of alien, more insect than humanoid, is one of the reasons why I like this episode.
Lost Tapes. Vampire.
So this was the first episode I watched of Lost Tapes. It is vampires. A family moves into a new home not knowing that there's a vampire in it. And the vampire is not like the normal depiction of like being human. It's more of a ghoul type of appearance. It first appears to the kid late at night, like coming out of his closet, and then it hides when the kid screams for his parents as he noticed the creature. The parent thinks it's a raccoon, and the next day hire an exterminator who appears and tries to go kill the supposed raccoon, but then find a nest within the wall and gets taken in where the vampire kills him. When the kid goes down to see if the exterminator has left, the vampire comes out and chases him.
Mom, he's coming! What is the matter? He's coming!
After this, the father stays back, and the vampire breaks down the door and pushes the father to the side and chases the mom and her son. They barricade themselves in the kid's room, and the vampire tries to break in and breaks down the door, but gets stabbed by the father. So, I think this was horrifying for multiple reasons. One, when he appears in the kid's room, that's horrifying. The second thing is the strength of it, as it was able to break down the door with its bare hands and pull in an exterminator out of the wall and killing him. It terrified me when I was young, thinking that a vampire was going to come out and get me. Overall, I think this was a good first episode to watch of Lost Tapes, and I will recommend it to anyone to take a look at it. Next episode I want to talk about is Devil Monkey. This episode starts with two hikers looking around a camp that they found and enter a small building, even though one of them doesn't think it's a good idea to do so. They're looking around, and then the devil monkey starts trying to come into the building, most likely killing the two hikers. After that intro, we get introduced to our main group, which is a news reporter and a law enforcement group that are going into the forest to stop a moonshine business. The group enters the forest, they will encounter their first trap, and the officers will explain that illegal moonshine business will set them up. They will avoid the first trap and walk away, but then the trap is triggered and the group turns back to investigate it and find a handprint near the trap, and weird noises start coming from the forest.
I thought I knew all the tracks out here.
Here it is again.
All right.
What this is, it's the moonshiners obviously trying to scare us.
They will continue proceeding through the forest, passing another trap, and a person from the intro, one of the hikers who actually survived the encounter with the devil monkey, appears. But the group does not want to take him with them as they want to complete their mission, so they leave him behind, which is actually kind of stupid. They didn't know the person, they didn't ID him. He got been part of the moonshining business, but they just let him go. All right, so the group proceeds to find that small camp from earlier, and the officers look around and investigate. And one of the officers, while investigating near tents, get pushed by the devil monkey. You will also find one of the moonshiners already dead, most likely because of the devil monkey. One of the officers would say that it seems like they had a firefight, but it was obvious that they were fighting the monkey. The news reporter and a officer will go inside the small building while other two officers are outside. They will be attacked by the devil monkey, two of them screaming into the radio as they're being killed. The two that are inside would stay in, and the officer would tell the news reporter to run. As the officer will stay in and try to fight the monkey, the officer will get killed by the devil monkey, and the reporter will try to go outside, but then will, for some reason, slowly look inside where the devil monkey is already killing the officer, but then would jump out and start chasing her. Eventually, the devil monkey will catch up to her, and the only survivor was that hiker that the officers refused to take. The devil monkey wasn't a cryptid I expected to be on those tapes. I wasn't even expecting it to be a cryptid at all. I find it interesting that it could just be a monkey who escaped from the zoo and just ran into the forest. I also like that these could provide some support for theories that people create cryptids from real life animals, but they're just exaggerations of them. Also, during this time, I remember hearing about the incident with the pet monkey. I think that added more nightmare fuel about this episode. So I saved the best for last, and that will be the Wendigo episode. This episode starts with a group of hikers who are lost and desperate for food. So one of them brings out a dead squirrel and is willing to eat it, but the others refuse. Then the footage cuts and it shows that a hiker is running away from the hiker that was willing to eat the squirrel. After the intro, a search team will be sent out to look for the lost hikers, and the three of them will eventually find the tents where the hikers were, but it is in ruins and there is blood around it. While searching around, the team will send a member out to get water. But while he is out getting water, he noticed something on the tree. And when he gets close to it, he will get attacked by the Wendigo. While this happens, the other two members find a corpse of one of the hikers and notice that he has been chewed, but it's not by a bear. And they realize that their member that they sent out is in trouble. So they go out to search for him. While they are searching, it gets dark and they also stumble on a cave. And when they enter it, they find out that there's a hiker inside. The hiker will proceed to tell them how everything went wrong. We see a flashback footage, and it will show that one of the hikers got injured somehow, and the one who ate the squirrel from earlier wants to eat that one, thinking that they won't make it. Eventually, he would kill her and start chewing on her flesh. While he is doing that, the survivor stumbles upon him and starts running away from him. Back in the present, a search team member decides to go out and search for their missing member. But while he's doing this, he is killed by the Wendigo. The final member of the search team would attempt to look for the one who just left, but would start hearing voices around the forest of their previous member, and then will be killed by the Wendigo. So now that the search team members have all died, this will leave the hiker who was hiding in the cave on her own. She would then go outside the cave, where then she will eventually meet her demise by the Wendigo. The visual of the Wendigo was scary to see during the episode, and the thought of being lost in the forest also added to it. The forest is already a scary place, and getting lost in it is just a horrible thought to think about. Another reason why I like this episode is because it doesn't have to be supernatural, and it could be a human who goes crazy and kills his friends and commit horrible acts. The cryptid of the Wendigo is also an interesting one, and many know already the stories of it. So that's another reason why it was a good episode, and I liked it and think it's the best. There are several other good episodes, and examples will be Sasquatch, Lizardman, Chupacabra, and Deathworm. The last two are scary to me because of the location where the cryptids are. they're usually commonly found in deserts. So, other than food and water being rare, there are also those cryptids lurking around it. Even though it doesn't hold up today, I think it's still a good show to watch and wish that there's another show that is similar to it. But that's all for this video. I wanted to just talk about one of my childhood shows that I watch and want to know your thoughts on it. And I hope you have a good day.